Tony with Backwoods Biker Magazine and Wood Tramp Outdoors. It's December, and this is BattlBox mission number 82. Hang tight. Be right back. Alright guys, welcome back. As I said, mission number 82, it's December. There's your mission brief right there. And I gotta tell you, man, there's some neat stuff in this box this month. You know, some of you had written and said you hope December was a good month. And I think that you're going to be more than satisfied with the gear that you find in here. A couple things that I did want to make mention of. I've got a ton of emails asking me my opinion of the new leadership and the changes that have taken place at BattlBox. Well, first of all, Daniel Dabbs did a great job doing what he was doing. It was his brainchild. But just like, you know, other people, you know, an opportunity, I'm presuming, came along, and he is no longer a part of the business, at least not on the front end that I know of, and I don't know what's going on the back end. But in his place is a guy whose name is John Roman, and I met John when we first hooked up. He has shown himself to be a very integral individual. His heart is with BattlBox. He's very knowledgeable, so having him sit at the helm does not scare me at all. As a matter of fact, I'm looking for more and exciting things to happen. You know, you can see it if you're watching, you know, the YouTube channel for BattlBox. You're seeing a lot more of Kern 1776. I don't know if that's because of the change or whatever, but just settle down. Don't worry about it. BattlBox is in great hands. And as this box will show you, they're headed in the right direction. So, with all that being said, let's don't forget to be able to give our newcomers here, our newbies, first-timers, a little bit of information about BattlBox. First of all, there are 4 tiers with BattlBox. You got the Basic, the Advanced, the Pro, and the Pro Plus. The Basic starts out at $29.99. Then you go to the Advanced for $59.99. The Pro Box is $109.99, and the Pro Plus is $159.99. And one tier builds upon the other one. So if you get that $159.99 knife of the month, you're going to get everything in the Basic, the Advanced, and the Pro Box. You're going to get the whole shooting match there. Okay, and this month, from start to finish, there's a lot of good stuff in here. So let me get started. And this first one here, it's kind of comical. It's called Squirrel's Nut Butter. You know, for those of you that have ever suffered your legs at your crotch rubbing together, sweaty, pair of nasty cotton underwear, not able to evaporate, you may have developed a terrible rash. That's what this stuff is for. And it looks like a deodorant stick. I guess you can put it under your arms if you want. Doesn't have any smell too much to it, except I can smell some cocoa butter in there. This is made from cocoa butter. What was it? Cocoa butter, coconut oil, and beeswax. Those 3 things together. We have a product that's called Bush Butter that has those plus other things in it also. And I can tell you, it helps. So if you are one of those people that suffers from rashing, this stuff will do what you need it to do. They give this a $16.95, so we'll call it a $17 value. It's easy to put in your pack. Take it out in the summertime. You know, most people don't chafe during the wintertime unless maybe it is a windburn that you need to take care of. That would do this too, but definitely for summertime, you could put this in your backpack, your rucksack, in your ditty bag, and keep you from having all that misery. $16.95. All right, that is the Squirrel's Nut Butter. Next thing is a product that, and it's products. It's just not one, but there are several products here from MyMedic. Now, if you don't know anything about MyMedic, MyMedic came on the scene about 4 or 5 years ago. Kind of quietly, and now they have really made an impact on the first aid / survival aid items out on the market. I mean, they've really done a great job. And one of the things that they've done, one of the business models that they've embraced, is they make modules. and you can choose a module to put it together, and then build your own IFAC kit or your own base kit, whatever you need. But it's been a great company. We have had several of their products in our shop, and we've been really impressed about it. So the second thing in the basic box this month comes from MyMedic, and there is a gauze mod, a super skin sorted bandage, and then a stay alive guide. But this is what I'm talking about. This is a mod. This is a module right here. Go out on mymedic.com and check this stuff out. But it's a resealable bag, and in here you're going to get assorted gauze pads and rolls. It controls bleeding. That's what this is all about. You see that on the package at the front of it where it says bleed? That's how they've got this set up. So when you go to their website, you can build whatever you want. But in this particular one, let me make sure I can get these out right without tearing the bag. Okay. I'm not going to look at these in any particular order, but this is a 2-inch gauze roll. This is a 3-inch gauze roll. These are non-adherent bandages, which are a lifesaver for real. They don't pull off the hair and all the skin and everything else. There's 2 of those in there. And then you got 2 gauze pads. These are 4x4, and I think these are 3x3. It doesn't say, yes it does, 3x4, sorry. So you get 2 of those in there also. And then you got some smaller ones here, gauze pads, 2x2. And again, it's to stop bleeding. So you get a lot of product in this little package right here. That is the first thing that I wanted to show you from MyMedic. And the next thing is right here. And again, we can just tear this open and then open the bag. I just want to show you how easy it is to do this. Yeah, there we go. And I'll tell you, you've often heard me say that my IFAC kits and most of my med kits don't have bandages in them like you're going to see here, because they're for owies and buoys that happen out there in the bush. You know, a cut hand from a knife, you know, puncture, whatever. And most of the bandages that are on the market have never impressed me at all, because in just a matter of time the adhesive breaks down, it comes open, and what you thought was a bandage that was keeping your wound clean has actually allowed bacteria and gunk and all kinds of moodly to get down in the puncture wound or the slice. Not with these guys. And I encourage you to get out on BattlBox's YouTube channel and to see Curran actually showing you how these work. These are stretchy bandages with a super adhesive on them that doesn't allow them to come off whenever you're using them. And there's 1, 2, 3 of these types of bandages here. Let me see if the package actually tells me what's in here. Yes, we've got 3 2x4 super skin bandages. We have got 6 1x3 super skin bandages, these, and then of course this looks like a regular bandage, if you can see that. You see that there? It's like a regular bandage, but again, it's the super skin. And these will be going in my IFAC, by the way. And then you've got these that look like an I-beam or an I or an H, depends on how you want to look at it, and you get 3 of these. And they call these the fingertip. But, you know, looking at this here and knowing how they stretch, you could use these beyond fingertips. But you know, most of these conventional bandages that are built for the fingertip, they don't last very long, especially not in the summertime. You know, and if you're in the wintertime and you get water on your hands, you know bandages come off. Not these guys. These guys are going to be there for the duration. So that is the second item there. Let me put this over here because I'm all going back to where it's supposed to. Right? And put this over here like that. They give this a value of $19.90. And then the next thing that's in this particular MyMedic is the First Aid in Survival, the Stay Alive Guide. Now this is a little tiny guide. You know what I've said about booklets, information. This is a lot like the Ultimate Survival Tips survival booklet that he put out that folds up. Full of great information. This is also, I mean, it's chock full. It has different categories that you can look for. Just to give you some: knots, NRA gun safety rules, shelter building, snake bite, travel markers, wind chill, heart attacks, heat and sunstroke, poisoning, shock, stroke, dislocations. I mean, it goes on and on and on. There's a lot of stuff that is in here. Airways, CPR for a child, bleeding, quick clot, lacerations. It's just a lot of stuff in here. Now, it's small enough that you're going to be tempted to put this in your backpack somewhere, in some little zipper pocket or in your ditty bag, and it's going to stay there, and chances are it would be better off that way if you use it for a fire starter because you didn't read it. So this is what I try to tell everybody with stuff like this, is that every one of them here, every category here, I am proficient with, okay? I wouldn't hesitate about being able to perform these not only on myself, but also on you in whatever situation I might find myself in. But I like these guides because I can sit down and just in a quiet moment and just review. And it locks it further into my memory, the things I've already learned and the things I've already done. You've got to read these things in order to be able to benefit from them. Remember what I told you? That panic is your first enemy. We talk about the rule of threes. Well, the first rule of three is you got 3 seconds to not panic. And the way you don't panic is through knowledge and experience and repetitive learning. Okay? Once you own something, you're not going to panic when you see that. And this will just help to reinforce this, you know. I mean, it's not all about emergency. Here's just, you know, some compass map orientation reading. You know, how to do magnetic declination, how to field dress game. There's a lot of stuff in here that is just super neat to sit around and read. You know, whether it's in front of your fireplace at home, in your shop, or you take it out with you out in the bush, you sit down by the fire and you just open this up and read a few pages. It'll be helpful for you. So they give this a value of $19.90. That is great. And then that moves us off to the last item in the basic box. And it is, ba-boom, the Ultimate Self-Sufficiency Manual. Now, you know how I feel about books. Any book that can put corn in your crib is worth to have on your shelf. But again, not just on your shelf to say, I've got that book. But this is one phenomenal piece of work, especially for those of you that are just getting into self-sufficiency, prepping, whatever you might be doing. And, you know, I got to tell you, there's a few guys out there over the last 100 years that told everybody they were preppers, and they were just kooks. And they did some pretty stupid stuff. And so preppers got a bad reputation, you know, as being a weird group. They're not. They're a smart group because you never know what can happen. I've often told you about the tornado that happened over here in Washington, Illinois, F4. Man, wiped out the community. And then just 2 days ago, down in Mayfield, Kentucky, that poor community was devastated by a tornado that leveled the city, and they are still finding people that have perished, and pray for their families, you know, for sure. But it's that type of situation that always happens to somebody else until it happens to you, and then you're going, man, I wish I would have listened to Tony, I wish I would have listened to this guy or that guy, and made myself an emergency bag that I put away a cache in my basement for an emergency situation. That's what this does, okay? Books like this, but this one is a very thorough book. I mean, it is very, very thorough in everything that it covers. Just let me look at the table of contents with you here. Man, just all over the map on this. Getting started, getting fed, getting settled, getting serious. And, you know, these are the pages. You know, there's 286 sections inside of this book. illustrated, great pictures, very, very simple to understand, very simple to read. Stuff, some of the things you're going to go, wow, I didn't realize that. And other things you're going to go, wow, that was right under my nose. Makes it very simple. Okay? Pretty cool stuff when I read this book. And I've looked through it a couple times. I'm doing just like this is what I've done a couple times before. Pretty neat stuff. All right? They give this a value of $22.50. Now remember, you have paid $29.99 to get into this level. And I'll tell you, this is why BattlBox has always impressed us. So if you take the $19.90, we'll call that $20. We'll call that $17, so that's $37. And then $47, $57, it's $60 that you've got in the basic box, and all you paid was $29.99. Now remember that, $60, because we're going to go on to the advanced box right now. ReadyWise, American Red Cross, 72-hour emergency food kit. That's this guy right here. Now, if you were to go in my basement, you will find one tote that has all ReadyWise products in it. That's because we reviewed it, I'm thinking 5-6 years ago. And I was so impressed with their meals, the way they put them together, how they performed. Not all ready-made meals, emergency meals, are equal. You got the good, the better, the best, and then what the hell is that? That's not what this is. This is right up there among the elite. And this particular kit put together in conjunction with the Red Cross for a 72-hour emergency. Now that is the benchmark. When there's a disaster, rule of thumb is that within 72 hours, you'll probably be rescued in a disaster situation. That's what this is designed for. They give this a value of $43.99. And this is what's on the inside of here. Okay, you got one pouch of cheesy macaroni, 4 servings. And while I'm mentioning this, if it's just you, that means there's 4 different meals here for you. If you've got a family of 4, that means you're going to have the mac and cheese, and you're going to be able to feed 4 people with that mac and cheese. You got a pouch of teriyaki rice with 4 servings, a pouch of hearty tortilla soup, 4 servings, 2 pouches of granola, and it says there's 8 servings there, and then a pouch of whey milk with 12 servings. A lot of these packages do not come with any type of dried milk. To me, that is a great add. I do have powdered milk in my prep section down in my basement. I'm a firm believer in powdered milk. No, it doesn't taste just like coming out of the cow, but you know what? When you don't have no milk, it tastes wonderful. Hear what I'm saying? Okay, so that's a $43.99 value. Add that to the 60, you're already at 101, 102 bucks there. We'll just call it 105 to make the math easy for everybody. And all you paid so far is $59.99. You've doubled your money just about, almost. So that's the meal from ReadyWise. And get out on their website. And by the way, BattlBox has also included a 25% off on all orders over $50. And there's the BattlBox code that I'm not going to give to you because you ought to have to do everything everybody else does. This offer expires 12/31/21. That's a bummer. People are spending a lot of money on Christmas right now. They may have wanted to wait a little bit to do that, but that's between BattlBox and ReadyWise. So now we're going to get off into the Pro Box, and the Pro Box is this guy right here. And that was I forget who it was. His name was Jesse. I can't remember where he's from, but Jesse sent out an email to us and said, 2 radios in 3 months or something like that. Well, yeah, and there was another radio before. And I'm thinking, okay, but when we got this and we opened it up, this is like no other radio that you've seen. This is actually made by Eton. Eton is a quality company, and they make quality products, and sometimes they're very expensive products. But we found them to be very, very reliable. When you're talking about a weather alert radio, I want reliability, okay? This one happens to be a very, very stout system. It's just not a radio, okay? But this is the guy right here. Most of these radios, you can hardly hear them at all, all right? So the first thing you're talking about here, let me turn this on. Got a little, oh, put that antenna up. Yeah, you can hear that, but that's all the way low. Now you're partying around the campfire. All right, so I'm impressed with that portion of the radio. It comes with AM, FM, and 7 weather band channels. Okay, so let me turn this off. Oh, there we go. Turned it off. This comes with a rechargeable lithium-ion battery, and you've got a USB cable that will charge this. But it also has, you see on the top there, that solar panel. It is a quick charge solar panel. And then, if you're in a bit of a hurry, it also has this crank where you can crank the battery. Now, I don't know how long it takes to recharge the battery full doing this, but I have a feeling you'd wear your arm out with it. But the combination of the USB, the solar, and the crank assures that you're going to have this emergency radio available to you at all times. Now, they give this a value of $60. I thought that was a little light. Now, it's large, okay? It also comes with a tether if you want to happen to put that tether on there. Guess it doesn't hurt unless it's going to take me a long time, and I won't do it. No, I'm going to get it right in there just like that. All right, now where would I use this radio? Okay, I can tell you this, that for me, this radio is going to end up at our base camp, located about 40 miles from my home, where we have a permanent camp there, a permanent RV there. And anytime there's storms, you know, we're trying to get our cell phone out, we don't get good cell phone service. That's where this is going to go, because we've been caught in a couple of tornadoes out there that we didn't get hurt, we got away from them. But it really would have been nice if we would have had something like this. You can do what I'm going to do, or you can put this a part of your prepping kit. You know, storm comes, you get some warnings. You take this out, turn it on, and you monitor the radio for the weather that's coming your way. It's a great ad. I like that. You know, Eton, again, is a very, very good company. They've been around for a long time. Now, let me give you some of the specs on this. It receives AM and FM digital radio with digital tuning. All 7 of the NOAA Environmental Canada weather bands, alert function, broadcast and emergency weather alerts, hand turbine, solar power charge, USB smartphone charger, and it has a long-lasting LED flashlight. You know, I would never use the flashlight with this. I would have my flashlights anyway, because you're taking a resource away. Has an alarm clock function, glow-in-the-dark locator, headphone jack, and auxiliary input. Again, you know, for $60, that is a great buy. I really like that. Comes with a handbook also. So I'm stoked about that. Now, that takes us to the Knife of the Month Club. And this is kind of funny because we just had some discussions about some of the knives that we've been seeing with BattlBox. And one of the things that we have heard is that, you know, BattlBox needs to send out a knife that is really sturdy enough and heavy enough, that a folder that you can count on. This month, from Fox Edge, you're going to see the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki is a heck of a folding knife, all right? Fox Edge, of course, that's the logo in their box right there. And then this guy right here, all right? Now, before I pull that out, let me just show you my main EDC. All of you've seen this, and I probably have 50 folders, and all of them are premium folders. They're knife folders. This guy here happens to be one of the cheapest ones that I own, and it is a CRKT Kit Carson model that I've modified. I don't have to pull this red thing back anymore to be able to get the knife put away. But I've enjoyed this knife. It's been a great knife for me, and every time I take it out, people say, man, that thing is big. Okay, well, I want a knife that I can count on. I put this in my 3-knife system. If something happens to my primary knife, my secondary knife, I got to count on the guy that's in my pocket. All right, so now I'm going to leave this out here, and I'm going to show you this one from Fox Edge, the Anunnaki. All right, and the Anunnaki will knock you out if you get hit with it. Look at this. Look how big this knife is. Here's the one I showed you earlier. Look at that. Can we do this? Kind of get an idea how big this guy is. It's got a lot of heft on it. I don't know if it tells you the weight on it, but here we go. Look at that. Now that is a pocket knife. That is a huge, huge folder. Now when I say pocket knife, this is designed to carry on your belt. All right, which I would never do. I would not carry a knife like this on my belt. You know, I'd have to put it in my pocket and figure this out. I don't like the fact that it does not have a pocket clip, a tip-up clip. It's not a game changer, you know. It's not I'd throw it away because of that, because I would just put a lanyard on it and be able to pull out of my pocket with a lanyard. But this is a knife that I'm telling you is going to be able to withstand the rigors of being out in the bush no matter what you are doing. Folders need to be able to do what your secondary knife does in a smaller capacity. But this guy, it's put together stout, it's heavy, the blade's still on it, you know, it's very, very rugged right here. You can always tighten up the scales. Let me read a little bit about here, okay? It has a modified D2 steel, okay? And I don't know what they did to modify it, but that's what it said. It's the blade is a sheep's foot style blade. It has a black TI coated finish. The scales are G10 black, and they sit on top of a thick stainless steel frame with a stop lock back mechanism and an additional safety lock, which I like. Okay, so this has your regular thumb lock here, so you can put away the blade. When you take the blade out, if you don't want to be able to use it that way, if you're doing heavy work and you want to make sure it can't fold up on you, all you do is press that button right there. Just push it forward, and then no matter what you do, you cannot push that down. It will not fold the blade. It's a great design. I like that. I really like that about that. And of course, you know, the size of this knife, and look where the finger choil is at. A nice deep finger choil. You got jimping here. You got some jimping up front also if you need to be able to use it like a draw knife, or if you're skinning game with it, you know, and you want to get a little bit more precise. I'm impressed with this knife. It's got some weight on it. It truly does. You know, but when you're talking about having to have a folder that you can count on, this right here, friend, and again, I would put a lanyard on it and stick it in my pocket. It's a little heavy, but you know, I would say it's probably twice as heavy as this knife right here. But I wouldn't be afraid of taking this out. And they give this a value of $119, and you have just invested $199. And so far, what do we have in here? We got $40. Let me see, 10, 20. So that was 45. That's 85. That is 140. That's like 200 and... Hey, so I'm slow today on my math. Would you give me a break, all right? So this is, we'll call this 17. 20, that's 37, 47, 57, it's 59, so we'll say 60 bucks. I was real light. That's $103 on the advanced. And then we go to the Pro, that'd be 180. And then this would make it 280, 290, almost $300 is where you're at, okay? So I just had to give me a minute here. I had to hold my tongue right to get that in there. Man, there's that sheep. Look at that. That's rugged. That's cool. That's it. So this is the last BattlBox you're going to see for 2021. And we're going to do one more BattlBox video for you because we want to talk to you about our favorite gear of 2021. We've been looking at that all year long, saying, hey, this will be a great piece of gear to show in that December. So hang tight. Don't go too far away. I'm like you. I'm wanting to get 2021 behind me. It's been a terrible year for us at Backwoods Biker for a lot of reasons. Okay, and we're going to talk about that in that video also probably. So till next time, we appreciate you watching the video. Appreciate your support for BattlBox and the community out there. And enjoying all this stuff. Get out in the woods and have a great time. Hit that subscribe and share button, and we'll put your name in our database for some free gear. That's mission number 81 for you, December. Looking forward to seeing you in 2022. Take care.